Hey, what's cracking? I'm back. Hope this video finds you happy and healthy wherever you are in life. I want to talk today about the real price of going to prison. I've heard a lot of people say things like, well, I just go sit in a room and everybody will bring me something to eat and take care of me. That don't seem too hard. I could do that. Well, yeah, it's not quite that easy. But I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about doing something crazy, you get a bedroom, take everything out of it. Put your little thin mattress in there, no TV, just get your Bible, Quran, whatever your religion is, and lock yourself in that room for 30 or 60 days and have someone you love just give you something to eat 3 times a day and then take it away from you. You can go use the bathroom. You get 3 showers a week for 10 minutes, but if you stay in there more than 10 minutes, shower gets turned off. Go to sleep in soap. But that's not the real price. You're going to pay for it the rest of your life. Okay, so I'm going to tell you some things in this video that I'm not proud of. Things that actually I'm ashamed of, but I told you I was going to tell the truth. I told you. So I'm going to give it to you raw. So just like I said, if you decide to do something crazy, you can go shoot a school, you want to go rob a store, or hang out with your buddies and rob somebody's house, deal drugs, hell, you can write checks and start off in a minimum, because once you start off in prison, it's easy to get caught up in there and to keep getting deeper and deeper into it. So if you start off in minimum and then you get in a fight with someone, then you go to medium, and then so on. Then you're in there with the knotheads and you might never get out. I had a friend that went to prison when he was 18 years old with a 4-year sentence. And now he has 4 life sentences and he's been on death row twice. So you can definitely get caught up in there and your life can be over from one mistake. So before you think about doing something wrong, you better think twice about the consequences of it. I remember my mom telling me about a week before I got locked up, I seen this kid and he was on the news and he was saying he had got caught robbing a store and he was going for trial and everything. And I said, man, I don't know how he got caught doing that. It seemed so easy back then. There weren't even cameras everywhere, you know. I shouldn't even been thinking like that. But my mom said, do you know what they do to guys like you in prison? Well, she didn't realize everything they do to guys like me in prison. But I'm going to tell you, and it's not good. But besides all that, besides the stories I'm going to tell you and the games people play on you, I want to tell you that when I went to prison, as hard as it was to go from never being away from home, going to church, being a straight A student, nearly, I was a straight A, I got a few B's. But I was one of the good kids. No one could have seen this coming. I went to church, got good grades. I was in all the sports. Everyone loved me. No one could have seen this coming. Should have never happened. It was a mistake. But you get caught up in the moment. And when you're a kid, especially, when you're young, you have emotions that are just, they go wild on you, man. And when I was a kid, when I was 15, the things that I was going through there were very real to me. They were just as important to me as a guy when he's going to death rows are to him. And that's one thing I want to explain, is that you think sometimes if you get busy in your life and your kids are off doing their thing and they seem like they're all right and you're trying to take care of all of you and trying to pay your bills and yeah, everything's all right there, you better go sit down and talk to them and make sure everything's all right. Because if something is wrong and something like this is happening, your whole life's about to change. The problems you have now are nothing compared to the ones you're about to have. And a kid's problems when they're 13, 14 are just as real to them as an adult's trying to take care of their family, as a man on death row about to lose his life. To each of those people, they're facing a very real problem to them, and it's just as serious to them as the next guy's is. So you can't never say, oh, that ain't nothing if he realized what I was going through, you know, because they are going through something. Every one of us are. So always remember, if you love them, check in, see where their head's at, make sure they're not thinking about doing something crazy. Because sometimes they'll give you little clues. They'll say things that maybe will make you realize things aren't exactly right. Don't just go on with your business. Stop and talk to them. Maybe you could save their life. So I wanted to talk to you about the other things about prison. Not only do you go to prison, you lose all your rights, you spend years in prison. You also lose all your relationships with your family, your friends, the people you grew up with. I was so worried about what the other kids thought when I was 15, but right now today, the only one I even talk to is a guy that lived across the street from me and he's been my friend my whole life. Other than that, I don't talk to a single person I went to school with. I was so worried about what them guys think, and I don't know any of them now. And they're probably mostly, for the most part, the same way. You move on. Things that seem so serious to you right now, they pass. So always try to look to the future, because emotions, they can't be trusted. And when I was younger, and my brothers and sisters, my cousins, nieces and nephews, people that I was close to, they would bring their kids to see me in prison. They thought they were going the wrong way to talk to me, to let them see where I was at. And one thing I always tell them all is emotions cannot be trusted. You can never trust the way you feel. None of us can do anything about what happens to us in our life or the way we feel. We can only do something about the way we react to it. And that's all we can do. We worry about what other people think, but what we need to worry about is our own futures and how we feel. Because in the end, that's really what counts. You're the only one that won't ever leave you. You're the one person you can always count on. And if you make a mistake, you're going to be the person paying for it. No one's going to pay for it with you. No, your family will pay it another way. But I want to talk to you, after all that is over, it was easier for me to go to prison at 15 than it was for me to get out at 35. Much easier. As hard as it was, as bad as it was, as torturous, as scary as it was. And I'm going to tell you about that in my future videos. It's important that you know what it is you're going to face if you go and you screw up. Because it ain't just, oh, I get in trouble, I'll go lay in a cell and take care of me. But if that was all there was to it. But it is not even the tip of the iceberg. When you send someone to prison, believe me, they pay. Someone rapes my mom, I don't want him to get the death sentence. It's the easy way out. I want his ass to go to prison for raping a woman. That's what I want. Because they're going to torture him every day in ways I can't have. I don't have the time to torture him the way they will. And I'm going to tell you about that. But when you get out of prison, no one's going to give you a job. So when you go and you commit that crime and you go to prison, not only you get to go lay in a cell and have someone bring you your lunch, but you also lose the ability to support yourself or your family. Yeah. I'm smart. I mentioned I had 147 IQ. I catch on to everything really fast, you know, and I took VOTEC courses in prison. And I thought it's going to be so easy when I get out here. I don't understand why my family's poor. I don't understand why they don't have money. It's so easy to get money. That's what I thought. Told them all we'd be millionaires time I was out 10 years. Well, this is my 14th year. And if it wasn't for my family, I don't know how I'd make it every day. Yeah. So I want to tell you that I'm not telling you these things. I don't want you to try to feel sorry for me. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm not telling you to feel sorry for me. And as ashamed as I am of all this, I'm telling you, because if you go screw up, this is what you're going to get. So I got out of prison. I had all these different trades I could do, things I can do. I catch on real fast. I weighed 205 pounds, 5'10". I could lift everything. Could lift everything. Do 1,000 push-ups, run 6 miles. Next day I'd do 3 miles and 250 pull-ups and then take a day off and start over again. Didn't count basketball all day and everything. That didn't count. Tip-top shape. 35 years old. Figured nothing that can hold me back. I got out here and I put in 40, 50 applications. No one gave me a call. And I would go in and talk to the people and even tell them my story, and they would listen like they were so interested and they were going to give me a chance, and they would never even call back. So if I called in, they don't want me to keep calling them. You know, kind of scared of me is how it seemed. But even without that, let's say you have a business and you need someone to work the front for you. You need somebody to work in the garage, whatever it may be. Right? You put up there that you have an opening and 10, 20 people, they're going to come try to get that job. Who are you going to hire? You're going to hire the guy that was in prison for 20 years, no job experience. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. You should have known. He's a convicted murderer, right? So nobody's going to give you a chance. And thank God that, you know, when I got out, my grandmother was still living. My wife was a med aide and a nurse's aide for 16 years. And she took care of my grandmother for me for the last 4 or 5 years she was alive. And I'll always be thankful to her for that. But my grandmother left me her home. And so it gave me a place to get away. And the world's too much for me. I can't live with anyone other than my wife. Can't get along with anybody. My mom waited for me to get out for over 20 years. I was in prison. I had a 22-year sentence, but I did 20 years, 5 months, and 29 days. That's how long I was in there. Went in when I was 15, got out when I was over 35. And my mother waited for me all that time. She loved me so much, but she couldn't sleep in the same house with me. So I tried to take it over. I didn't realize it. I didn't know I did it. I have nightmares. Right now, my back's hurt. My knee's messed up from fighting in a dream last night. I'm on Social Security disability. $900 a month. That's what I get to survive. Can't get a job. No one wants to be around me. I have nightmares. Not nightmares, night terrors. And always, when I was in prison, I did fine. I faced up to all those things. I hit it. Men aren't allowed to show fear in prison. You don't show when you're afraid. You don't show when you're scared. You don't show when you're hurt. The only thing you show, are allowed to show, is anger. No matter who you are, you wear a mask long enough and you become that mask and you become an angry person. So not only you lose your relationships, you lose yourself. I went years and years without seeing the people that I love. So it'll go off in a minute, sorry. Lost the ability to take care of my family. I wasn't able to make these videos. The sound, I had a lot of problems with the sound. And I didn't know what to do. If there's someone out there, if you know how I could send you that video and you could edit the sound for me and send it back, I would really appreciate that. If you don't, I don't know if I'm going to remake them or what. Like I said, I'm not very tech savvy. If you remember, it wasn't very many years ago, they didn't have smartphones and things like that. You know, that's another thing. The day I got out of prison, me and my brother, we walked into the bathroom and he walked out before me. I couldn't figure out how to turn on the water and the napkins. I don't know if I told you that in one of the other videos, but yeah, I got lost. So I'm not really good at this. I know how to hit record. My dad gave me the money to get this microphone so you can hear me. The next on my list is a stand because right now it's sitting on a brick. So I'm working on it. I'm going to get them out there. They're going to be better if you just be patient and wait with me. I know it isn't all real good. I know it has mistakes. There's places I need to edit, but I don't know how. I haven't learned how. Mostly I just want to tell you a story, and I don't want to put a bunch of music behind it or do a bunch of heavy editing. I want it to be genuine. I want it to be me and you sitting here talking about what happens when you make a bad mistake. Because really, that's what it's all about. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. If you want to follow me, I am at Growing Up Rough on Twitter. I ask you to please, I keep forgetting to do this. My brother said, make sure you tell them to like, subscribe, and share. I keep forgetting to do that. And, you know, I can't get this video out there any other way. YouTube won't recommend it until so many people do this and that. And I don't know if people are, you know, it seems that a few people are interested in it. But if you'll share it on your Facebook so that people that aren't my friends will see it. And then maybe if you share it here, if you give me a like and a subscribe, really would appreciate the subscribe. I'll never ask anyone to pay to talk to me or listen to my videos. Not ever. But I really would like to be able to support myself, not depend on Social Security. So if you would like to help me out in any way, there's a P.O. box and Cash App in the description. If at some point I was able to take care of myself, I would be glad to tell Social Security I do not need their help. I would very much like to be able to support myself. See you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.